We play for keeps, Cuddy. You ain't heard about the Huddle fire with DLane. We tryna get it off the muscle. Walters caught the pick and ran it back without a tussle. Blow the whistle, coach is trying to get back to the huddle.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. It's your boy, Coach DLane. I got my guy, Coach Zay. Coach Zay, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. Beautiful Wednesday. We got Dwight on. How you doing, Dwight?
I'm pretty good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Got my guy, Coach Tillman, my old DB coach from Southeastern Louisiana on today. Kind of want to get a little bit of his football story and just talk a little ball. So let's dive in, Coach. Let's start from the beginning. How did you get introduced to football? How did you
I got introduced?
Yeah.
Say it again?
Yeah, like how did you first get introduced to football?
Well, I was always playing football as far as like, going outside, linking up with some friends and just playing on the street, basically it was 7-on-7, but we didn't call it that, just everybody, everybody was a receiver at that time. You had one quarterback and it's basically playing in the neighborhood. And then I really got into, the actual like pads and tackling I got into it late, I guess. I got into it like 7th, 8th grade. And then, so I was playing running back, Pop Warner. We went to high school, and I actually tried out for running back in high school. But the funny thing is, I played quarterback in high school, and only because, like, during our lunch period in 9th grade, we actually was playing like pickup, like on the field, and then I was playing like quarterback. And then the coach was like, "Oh snap, you can actually throw." So then they moved me into that position. So like my high school career, I played quarterback all 4 years. And then it was college that I moved to DB. So
what was that Baltimore? Cause you from Baltimore, Coach is from Baltimore.
Yeah.
What was that Baltimore scene like, Coach? Because I think when I think of Baltimore, I think mainly basketball. I know y'all got some like nice basketball cats out there. That's what I'm talking about. With that football scene.
I mean, basketball is cool, but we got a lot of decent football players, man. We got a lot of programs out here like DeMatha, we got Gilman, we got Calvin Hall, some St. John's. Like we got a lot of good football out here, and it is heavily recruited, for football. Western Tech High School. Notable, play other than myself with Dominique Foxworth. He went to, happened to go to
high school.
Yeah, from my high school.
Okay, I know the cornerback, right? Yeah, I know you talking about.
Yeah. From Maryland, he went to Maryland, University of Maryland. But he actually went to my high school. My high school was real small. We didn't really have any facility, have a field. We kind of had to commute everywhere to play. So out of high school, I didn't really have too many offers. Mainly the D3, we ran the triple option. And I didn't really, understand the importance of like basically that weight room, that off-season workout, right? So I actually graduated about like 150. So it was like, all right, what school gonna pick up somebody at 150, playing triple option, and then it wasn't like the spread like it is now. Like I was under center running triple. But now it's like they running triple, spread, basically triple running that zone read and stuff like that. So I played playing quarterback, I feel like I was a man, but, we looking around, now we have other cats like Christian Bonner, at Randallstown. They had a whole bunch of cats that was out there killing. And they was taking the weight room serious and stuff like that. But so I wound up, not getting and I didn't want to take the D3 offer, but I wound up, just going to school and just figure I try to go JUCO route. So I actually bounced around. Like after I graduated, I bounced around from school to school, thinking I was going to walk on, which I tell people out there don't walk on because they treat walk-ons like trash, right? If you walk on, they treat you like trash.
So you went JUCO before you went to Delta, Coach Tillman?
Yeah, I went JUCO. Yeah.
What JUCO you go to?
I'm a JUCO product. Lackawanna, baby. Lackawanna.
I don't think I knew that. I don't know why I feel like you was just straight with Coach Rob. Okay. I didn't know you went to the JUCO route. Where's that at? Is that in Kansas?
No, that's in PA. That's in Scranton, PA.
Okay.
Coach Mark Duda. they doing numbers in the JUCO route. You know what I mean?
Okay.
JUCO leagues. It's not like California. You know what I mean? Y'all not a part of NCJs.
Nah, yeah, they got their own.
Not a part of that. They got your own little thing. You know.
Yeah.
So they're part of that league. So I went there, and I was kind of actually like 3 years removed from high school. You know, when I got there.
What you was doing in that downtime? Because what you was just trying to figure
out. That downtime, I was actually like, I was still playing, I was still working out, but I was like playing like flag, right? So I was playing flag and just still trying like, man, eventually I'm gonna try out for one of these, squads and get on. What happened was when I was about 19, I was playing flag and I tore my ACL playing flag. So I basically had to recover for a whole year. So that was about like 2007. So I tore my ACL, had to recover from that. And then around like the spring of 2008, that's when I went up to Lackawanna. I went to Lackawanna and I basically had to try out. So, I was still kind of recovering from the ACL surgery. So it was rough, but at that point, it was like, this is do or die. You know what I mean?
And at that point, did you make that transition to DB already?
Yeah, I made that transition because at first I was thinking about playing receiver, but I had a homeboy, my homeboy Rob. He was playing receiver. He was like 6'4". He was kind of like a stud, and he was like, I don't know if you play receiver. I think you should play corner. So we was kind of like, we would go to the fields and we would work out together, and I was, covering him, and I was like, he's pretty decent. So that kind of got my confidence there as far as playing cornerback, And mind you, in high school, I played quarterback. So I did nothing as far as tackle ever.
Okay.
It was no tackling going on.
Yeah, no pedaling, none of that.
Yeah, nothing. They ain't put me in for a snapper defense in high school. So it was definitely a different experience, something that definitely a different challenge for me. But I knew I can cover though. That's the one thing I knew for sure that I can cover. So going to Lackawanna, went through there, met some good people, and then I happened to make the that spring, and then so from there I wound up starting, right. So I wound up starting going into the fall. Heavy competition. You guys, I don't know if you guys, I know DLane, JUCO, but, JUCO is rough. Yeah. You got to be a dog, you got to fight for what you want in JUCO. And that's what it was. But, you learn, just learn how to be tough, really. You learn how to compete. Really, that's the main thing. Just learn how to compete. So I wound up, winning the starting spot. And I went on to play there for 2 years. So what happened is this is where it kind of, I don't know, you feel me? What happened was I didn't know. Okay, so I got offered by Minnesota University of Minnesota. All right. So I was going to be a Golden Gopher. I signed the paperwork and stuff. You can, fact check that, look that up online, right? Got pictures and all that stuff up there. So I signed, my whatever thing called National Letter of Intent. So I signed for Minnesota. So I actually go up there. Minnesota, University of Minnesota is a beautiful campus, bro. Beautiful field, This is my shot. That's what you do. When you go, JUCO, you like my goal is Division I football, right? So I get the chance to, I think I get a chance to play Division I football. Things are looking good. So when I get up there, actually like the second day I'm up there, the coach called me into the office like, hey, we need to talk to you. And so he called me to the office and say, hey, if something happened with the paperwork, I guess we didn't do our diligence on outside, and we kind of missed that you are ineligible to play Division I football. Because of that, and I tell guys now, like if you're planning on playing football, in the future. Even if you don't get a scholarship or you don't go to a school right out of high school, like don't take a full semester of college. If you want to take a couple classes, that's fine, but never, enter into a 12 hours. Basically, that's full load. But I did that not knowing, not having really any guidance, any mentors, or anybody to tell me, how I should handle things. But so I was ineligible for Division I football. What happened? So I'm ineligible for Division I and 1AA, which is FBS and FCS now. So actually that summer, and this is 2010 now, right? So that summer I come home and I'm just like, man, I don't know what. I called a couple of D2 coaches that I downplayed because I thought, you feel me? I'm D1.
You're going D1.
I'm D1. I ain't gotta talk to you, big dog. So I lost contact with those Division II coaches. And when I went to go call them back, they had already had spots. They had them spots filled already. So I'm sitting there on my couch, actually sitting at somebody else's house, sitting there on their couch, and I got a call from Pete Golden. Pete Golden is actually like the defensive coordinator at Alabama with Nick Saban and them. So he's the defensive coordinator there. He gave me a call and he said, look, man, we got a scholarship for you. He was like, full ride, everything paid for. All you got to do is sign. Like, listen, sight unseen. I did not know where and this is Delta State University, Division II. Delta State is in a small town in Mississippi. Small town, it's nothing there. It's nothing. Yeah. So I got a call from Pete Golden. He said he had a scholarship, and I said, look, if you fax some papers over, I'm gonna sign those papers and I'm coming down there, right? So he faxed the papers over, I signed them, and so I'm going to Delta State. Mississippi, 17-hour ride from where I'm from. Never been in Mississippi. Definitely haven't been to the Delta. I didn't know what I was going to expect, but all I know was, shoot, I'm playing football, right? And my school getting paid for. So that was a goal from the jump. It's all about, getting that school paid for, finding a way to get that degree. Yeah. I came from the beginning, so it's like I necessarily have the funds or, to actually pay for my own degree and get through college. So I get down there, man, and it's definitely a culture shock, right? It's like the buildings are smaller, I'm used to the city, and this is different. This is like, all right, okay, all right, we're going to have to make it work. So I get down there, and my guy, I actually meet a guy named Brett Butler. He actually owns a gym in Modesto called TPL Systems.
I know you're talking about. He trained at Logan when I was there for a quick hot second, I think. But I know you're talking about.
Yeah. So that was my guy. So when I got down there, he's my roommate, and he was coming from California. Never left California. You know how California JUCO, you stay home.
Damn, cause Rob been tapped in on that Cali shit then, man. Cause I just thought about that. That's why. I just thought about now. I see him hit Coach Rob all the time on Twitter. I was like, how do you know him? He played for him. Yeah,
Coach Rob is a Cali. He played in Cali, in that JUCO. So I get down there, link up with him, and it's that it's like kind of like starting over again. You went from one place to JUCO, you solidify your spot, you're the man, you're doing your thing. You actually coming, you had an opportunity to play Division I football, you did. So you kind of feel like, all right, cool. I mean, I'm all right. I'm a decent player, but you still gotta go down there and compete. And this will happen at Delta State, man. I'm gonna tell you, those coaches down there at Delta State, and I swear by it, those are some of the best coaches I've ever been around. Right?
Who was there with Coach Rob? I know Coach Golden. I didn't play for Coach Golden in Southeastern, but I know him. But who else was there with Coach Rob?
Yeah, Coach Golden was there. Coach Golden, he was, like I said, DC, Alabama. Coach Michael, Travis.
I know Coach Trav. I know Coach Trav. Okay.
Who else we had? Coach Stevens. I know you know Coach Stevens.
No,
right?
I think I know Coach Stevens.
All right. So Coach Stevens down there and great coordinator. Right. Great minds. Like they had great minds, man. Like, and they just knew the game of football. So I learned a ton of stuff just being down there. So I get down there, and that's the first thing. So this is 2010, 2011 season. And I wound up, right, you get down there, you're not starting, right? You got people there that before. So getting a job that spring game, okay? So I get the starting job. Starting there, first year, it's pretty decent. Because the first year we there, mind you, it's a brand new team. Because the story goes, the year before, they didn't have the greatest season. So Coach Raw kind of letting guys go. Guys that others over, cancers to the team that's not helping them win. He kept that solid nucleus of guys that that he can trust. Because Coach Raw is big on trust, and so he brought a bunch of us in, a bunch of JUCO cats. Now, with the JUCO cats, you only got 2 years. You gotta make that thing work. You gotta make sure they buy into the system. You also gotta make sure that they are, that chemistry is there as well, right? So
Coach Till, was you Coach Rob's first recruiting class as a DC there? I know he started, or he was a DC there, right?
No. He was actually there for a little while.
Okay.
So he was there first as a DC, then he became the head coach.
Got you.
So I'm there, and it's a bunch of new guys. Like we got, guys from Cali, guys from, and that's the misconception about sometimes these high school players have about lower divisions, as far as like Division II, FCS, 1AA, is that they think like, okay, if it's not the big name LSUs or the Ohio States or those schools, they think it's not worth even, considering. But D2 is actually, they have, the only difference between D2 and D1 is just the trenches, like the front line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Defensive line, offensive line.
What about the quarterback play? What you think?
Quarterback play can be the same too.
You sure?
So the only thing that matters is the difference is the line play. Because, and I'll get into it later, I played against some kids, are in the league now. So we got cats.
I agree with that, Coach Till, because I remember my first time going to UC Davis on a camp trip, and then I went to Cal's right after. I just seen a big difference in the lineman that's D1A to D1. I just seen a big shift from the lineman size. Lineman at UC Davis like 250, 245. Lineman at Cal 280, 290, maybe 300.
It's like finding hoopers though. It's rare.
Exactly.
So I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So we get there, and we all knew. We all trying to figure each other out. We competing. We think we the best of what we do. Guys that are already there think they're the best. So early on, like we was clicking. Like club is like that. Their staff was great. So we were winning games, but it's kind of like we were winning close games, right? We didn't necessarily have our chemistry down. We didn't necessarily trust each other as much. It wasn't, I don't think, until probably late into the season where we was in a situation where we may or not have made the playoffs. So it was in a game, and this is Ouachita State, and we actually like losing at halftime. Coach Rob came in and gave us a speech, kind of get us riled up. Went out there, we won that game, and that game kind of put us in the playoffs. Gave us the momentum to get into the playoffs. We wound up actually, going to the national championship. First year. I'm talking about first year there, Delta State, a bunch of JUCO guys came together, trusted each other, believed in each other, and we actually made it all the way to the national championship. National championship, we came up short though, right? It was, I tell people all the time, it's like a movie. Like, a movie, they be like, 3 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
The kick team come on, the kicker kicks it through the uprights, he runs off the field. That's exactly how it went down. Okay. Yeah. So that hurt. That hurt. You know, man, you can't get that back. And it's the crazy thing is like it's hard to get to the championship.
About 5 playoff games, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
you play 5 playoff games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we played 4 because we had a bye in the beginning.
Okay. I mean, your former Tillman, right? He won the Division II with Commerce.
Yeah.
5 games. Yeah, 5 games they played in.
So it's a lot of anything can happen in them games. Like the semifinal game, it was like a I want to say like a monsoon. It seemed like it was raining crazy. We playing Shepherd. Like we had to postpone the game because of rain. Then we came out. It was a muddy game. We played on grass, and we happened to come through and win that game. But we went to the national championship. And it's an awesome experience. They wound and down you. You basically we were there in Florence, North Carolina, and a whole week in a hotel. They got presentations. Our quarterback kind of was like one of the finalists for the Harlan Hill, and that's like the Heisman of the Division II.
Okay.
So we got a chance to experience all that, you know, and we just didn't get that, you know, chance to win that game, you know. So we wound up losing by 3 points to Minnesota Duluth. And it's like, dang, these Minnesota. I like to say to Minnesota a little bit because I was supposed to go to Minnesota. They booted me out.
Scams.
You know, and then I lose a national championship to Minnesota Duluth. It was like, what is going on?
Hey,
you know,
don't go to that state. That's not your state.
Yeah, it's not my state. Man. So,
okay. So was Coach Rob? Coach Rob was running that same stuff back then. He was
running the same exact stuff. Different terminology. Yeah. Right? Coach Rob in the game, so you know, old stuff. He bring it back and you know revamp it. You know, so he been doing the same exact stuff. Just call it cover 5 without bread and butter too.
Oh, hey, I love it. Hey, Till, Coach Till. Over the weekend, I was telling Cass, I was like, hey, when shit get bad, I was like, I'm gonna just call 2 men. I'm telling y'all right now, like, I like trail everything, make these quarterbacks throw them hard throws. Them outs, I tell them all the time, that was my favorite coverage, especially at safety. I got most of my picks in cover 5, man. I love it. I love Coach Rob's 3-3-5 scheme, though, man. I still follow a lot of his principles and try to look at a lot of his stuff still. I love Coach Rob's scheme.
Exactly, bro. It's genius, the stuff that he does. But yeah, we was running the same stuff. So now that's basically my junior year. So then we come back. We basically had the whole team coming back because, like, remind you, we
JUCO cast.
This is our first year together. Yeah. So you know, the thought process is like, all right, we can get that again next year. Like easy, you know. So we actually do. Well, mind you, first of all, we did win a conference that year. We won a conference. So that's my first conference championship ever. And we beat the team to win the conference. We beat the team called North Alabama.
Yeah,
now,
heard of
the second year is, we're favorites to, win the conference again. It's going to be tough, though, because we played in the GSC, and GSC had a ton of good teams, like West Alabama, North Alabama. They had Valdosta. I know you know Valdosta.
Yeah, I know Valdosta.
Like 2 years after we left. But, they got a ton of great teams. So we get into the season, it's 2011 season, and we're doing our thing. We go into North Alabama, and this is for like the conference championship. Like they're number 1, we're number 2. Like this is one of the biggest games. And I tell people all the time, like if we play North Alabama for national championship, we got a national championship. I don't care because we played hard. We always got up for North Alabama.
Gotcha.
So mind you, and I say the NFL guys I play against, Janoris Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins get kicked out of Florida, and the school he went to was North Alabama. Now I always say this, like Janoris Jenkins was the guy that I looked at and was like, oh wow, now that's an NFL cat. Jack
Rabbit.
He
made a lot of money doing it too.
That's an NFL guy. I don't care. That's why I tell people, like, you sleeping on Division II, but they have some guys.
Yeah.
And he was a dude. He was a dude. I was like, all right, okay. It's like looking at him, like the way he was built, like, you know, you could tell he came from like a program that was like, all right, they specialize in, you know, making you guys, you know.
Coach Till, that sounds like that's probably the best DB you've seen in those 2 years. Tell me who was the best court. I'll give you all three. Who was the best DB you probably seen in those 2 years, and who was the best QB arm talent and best receiver matchup you had?
All right, I'm gonna get into that. So you said who the best DB I seen?
Yeah.
Yeah, best DB I seen was Janoris Jenkins. It was
okay. Then best QB arm talent.
Best QB arm talent. I'm gonna have to go with my guy. I'm gonna go with my quarterback. I don't think he had the strongest arm, but he was just smart and he made like all the right plays.
At least y'all had a quarterback. We didn't have no quarterback. Hey, because I know who was the best quarterback. You was there when we played Oklahoma State, right?
Yeah, I came to that game.
You was there, Coach? Yeah, I remember. Come on, bro. I remember.
Hey, Lane, the crazy thing, I was there too.
You was at that game?
Yeah.
Rudolph. Man, he can spin it. He can spin it for sure. That's the best guy I seen in college. Who's the best receiver matchup you had, Coach?
Best receiver, I'm gonna say best receiver matchup. Now I give my hats off to the guys I played against, like Chance and this cat named LJ that he played for. He should have been in the league. But the best receiver matchup I went against was John Brown. And I'm gonna get into the story about John Brown.
Pittsburgh State.
Is that
the one for the Bills or the
Yes. Okay, yes, sir.
Got you.
We ran into that cat. Now, so again, we won a conference again that year. We still get a bye, but we lose to West Georgia. Being too cocky, they came in, they really wanted to beat us. You know, we were number one team in the nation, and they beat us. So that messed us up for that playoff game against Pitt State, because if we would have won that game, we would have had home field advantage. Right? So travel up to Pitt State. Mind you, like we Southern, our school in the South, we play games that's, don't get any colder than 60 degrees, right? So there, this is semifinal game to get to the finals again, right? We already figured that, all right, we got a good enough team. We should get to the finals. So we get up there, man. When I tell you this is the first time, playing D2, the atmosphere, like the fans, the stadium,
they got double deck out there, right?
Double deck.
What state is this in?
This is in Kansas.
Got you.
Kansas, Pitt State, Kansas. So we hearing about the team, and we play some other teams. We actually practice at another facility, and they're like, yeah, go ahead and beat Pitt State. Boom, boom, we hope y'all win. We hate them and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go up there and we in Kansas. Mind you, we had to drive, so it was a long distance. I think it's probably like 12-hour drive. We on a bus. We just missed the distance to fly, right? So it was like crazy. It was crazy. D2 did us kind of dirty on that one. So we get up there and it's game time. So mind, it's cold. It's probably to us, it's cold. We're not playing in that. I think it's probably below 50. We up there like, man, all right. But we hyped up for the game. And the crowd it's loud out there. It's loud. It's different than what we used to playing in, So that's why I said the best matchup was John Brown. We get the opening kickoff, our and this is crazy. We get the opening kickoff. Our first drive offense, we get 3 and out. We punt the ball to John Brown. He runs it back for a touchdown. We like, oh my God. And John Brown was good. We watched his film. Like, all right, he a dog. So we get on defense and we got them schemed up. You know what I mean? We playing cover 5. You know, sometimes we double covering them. We get the hands on them. You know, sometimes we got them man to man. And so to me, he wasn't all that when I was playing him. You know what I mean? This is the first half of the game.
Yeah.
First half of the game. So now it's like, all right, cool. We get in the second quarter. And I got him one-on-one. So we run a fade. Boom, cool. I got him locked up. I'm in a hip pocket. I'm running with him. And then I see his eyes light up like he's looking back for the ball. So I'm still looking into him. So when I go back to look for the football, right, the final football, at my ACL.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this one. Yeah,
my ACL.
I just remember.
So the crazy thing is, still on YouTube, I look at it from time to time when I want to feel bad about myself. So,
man.
Or I look at it when I feel good about myself because he's in the league and I'm like, I'm running stride for stride with him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He NFL cat, you know?
Did he catch it and keep running for a tug?
He caught it, bro, and scored. He caught it and scored. So I'm up here. I tear my ACL. I see the ball, and all I can think about is grab the ACL. You hurt. You're in pain right now.
Yeah.
So he scores. He even looks back and be like, you know, see I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, did he push it off or something like that? I still think he pushed it off, but they ain't called him. But so I tear my ACL and we go into halftime, and then we lose that game. So after that, man, it was like, dang, tore my ACL. I was done. I was done. I was like, I can't do it no more.
Was that the same knee you tore when you were playing flag?
No, actually, my second is the other one. So I tore both of them. Yeah. So I tore both of them. And so I wound up just, you know, I didn't get surgery because they said it was kind of like partial tear, even though it felt like a real tear. But so I don't get surgery. I just, you know, rehab and wound up going back home. I graduate though. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Graduated, got my degree.
Yeah.
Yep, got my degree, went back home, and I actually started coaching football at one of my brother's high schools. So I coached football there for 2 years at Franklin High School. We won 2 state championships, right? So we won 2 back state championships. I get a teaching job at another school. I become the DC at that school. I only stayed there for a year, but I was like, dang, I really like this coaching. I mean, teaching is fine. Yeah. I love teaching, but
what you was running your 1 year? You was running Coach Rob shit? What you was running?
You know I was.
That come up.
You know I was. Everything I could think of, everything I do. Yeah. Run it. That's it. That's all I was doing. And I did pretty good. We did pretty good. Yeah. But mind you, it was high school, and it's not like high school like we all at California. You know, it's not that type of, you know, football. It's Baltimore football. They run the ball. They don't necessarily know too much about the game. You know, talking about teachers, and, you know, that's trying to play, maybe run a team. You know, they know too much about scheme and you know, and stuff like that. So I do pretty good. So I'm just like, man. My whole thing is that I already won 2 state championships, and it's like there's nothing else in high school where I'm at. It's like nothing else. Like you don't get the next promotion, you don't get the move up. You know, they're not playing coaches out here just to be coaches. You know, like they do in the South. You know, they don't do that. They don't give you they don't give you 100.
We get a shitty stipend out here. They do us so cold, coach. They do us cold out here, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got coach private.
You said what?
Out in California, like we got a school in Oakland, like Bishop O'Dell, right? Like they always got like former NFL players they coaches because the private schools here they play their coaches 6 figures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like down south, they give you 6 figures and give you a house and tell you, you know, you got duty. That's it. You know, years. Exactly. And don't wind up being, you know, get tenured. Oh man, I just heard about in Texas, if you get tenured at a high school, they give you the average of your highest salary. The 3 highest years of your salary, is your pension. Average.
That's love.
So I didn't know that was in Texas. That they do that in Texas. But
Zay already know I'm thinking about moving, man. I might have to go back to go to the South.
You might have to. You might have to hit up Willow. Yo, Willow.
Man, that's my boy. Yeah.
They say you got to be, as long as you're in the system for 5 years, you know, you get the average of your highest, you know, grossing salaries. And that's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. I didn't know that. But so I was just like, man, I want to do more. So I just want to reach out to Coach Raw. I actually sent him a Facebook message.
Yeah.
You know, I sent him a Facebook message and he said he had a position. He said not full time, but you know, it's an opportunity if you're ready, if you want the opportunity. So I was like, yeah. And that's when I came down to old Southeastern.
Okay.
And, you know, coaching corners. That's when the whole journey began. So I was there for 2 years. My man DLane. You know, we had some good years, man. We had some good years.
We're solid, man. We're solid. I was gonna ask you, Coach, was your first recruiting class Mayo?
Nah, man, they came in that year, matter of fact.
Yeah, so that was like your first recruiting class, right? Like for you.
No,
like,
I got there the same year Mayo and them got there.
Okay. So I had to.
Yeah.
So the boys hit me in the group chat the other day. Jeff, you know, Hefe, Neil, Will, Max, and all that. We in the group chat, and I was like, man, Siegs. I'm like, man, you know, I gotta bring it up to Coach Till. I gotta bring it up. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. It's training camp. It's training camp. It's a Mayo story. You already know Mayo.
Uh-huh.
It's training camp, and it's 2 plays back to back. We in the meeting room. Coach, Zay, you know, get real when Coach get the red buzzer. When red light.
Hey, this brother I went to, that's from the Bay too.
Yeah, right? From Chabot. Yeah, he went to Chabot. You know, Mayor.
Bro, I went to middle school with him.
Yeah.
With Jeff, I went to play JUCO with him.
Yeah, he played JUCO with Jeff.
Oh, dang.
It's a small world. Like, it was a bunch of random people. But go ahead, man.
That's crazy. So you went to what's that school?
I went to Sierra College.
Sierra College, yeah.
You know JJ too. Yeah, he played with JJ.
Yeah, so I played with JJ. I played youth football with JJ, high school with JJ, and JUCO with JJ.
Oh dang! Oh, you know the whole crew.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah. He met Willow. He met the whole crew.
Yeah, Will when he came out to the Bay a few times. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what's up. No, we in training camp, so we in meetings, and it's 2 plays that happen. So we in meetings, and Coach Till asks Mayo, he's like, he circle it up. He going against K-Rich. I don't know if you remember this. He was going against Kalen Richardson, and he was like circling it up. You like, man, what the fuck is this shit? What's this shit? Man, K-Rich dog Mayo on this rep. I'm talking about this off the line, put him on his ass. I think it was a run play, but he just dogged him. And Coach Till was like, what the fuck is this? What's this shit? So next play, Coach Tillman pull up the very next play. Mayo get off on him. Mayo low-key get on K-Rich and do his thing. Coach Tillman's like, yeah, Mayo, that's what I'm talking about. Mayo's like, well, shit, he was like, I got mad, Coach. He made me mad. We started rolling in the meeting room. I'm like, what? He like, Coach Tillman like, well, motherfucker, make him make you mad every time then. Make him make you mad every time.
Hell yeah, yo, my man.
Classic, man.
Mayo, man. I was like, dang, I don't know, Mayo gonna make it, bro.
Mayo.
Mayo gotta get a little tough, but that was a beauty.
Big corner.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of it, like this coaching, this scene, the development of players. It's like,
because he ended up being nice for us. Mayo ended up being nice.
Yeah, that second year, man, Mayo came on, and I would tell cats, like, I used to be in meetings, and I kind of felt, I ain't gonna say I felt bad, but it was like, you know, every clip after a game, it's like, all right, this is what Mayo does, basically. It was like, you know, because Mayo, he earned the stripes. Like, he went through a period where he had to grow, he had to develop. He had to know, like, okay, this is a different level of ball. Like, you got to have a different mindset. You know, you got to practice different. You know, you got to pay attention to the details. The smallest things matter. And he came out in that second year, man, oh my gosh.
I think he led us in picks. Or I was like one behind him, but I think he led us in picks his last year, our last year. Mayo was balling.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that one pick, who we playing against?
When he took it back to the crib?
No, not that one we took it back to the crib. That was
Houston Baptist, I think.
That was Houston Baptist. I'm talking about the pick he got against what's the red thing that I robbed?
Lamar.
And Thibodeau.
Oh, Nichols.
When he got that pick at Nichols, to steal the game. Oh my Oh, that's one of them things like you like, dang, man. You know, players develop and they turn into, stars really. And it's like, man, that's what's up. As long as you just persevere and have determination and just work hard and put the effort in, you'll wind up doing big things.
Yeah.
So Southeastern was great for me. I learned a ton of ball. Like those coaches too. I put my hats on, like, just anybody that's come under like, Coach Rob, they're gonna learn a lot of football, right? Travis was there, Lacey, great ball coach. Schwann's great ball coach. Weston, great ball coach. Brett,
is Coach Swan still at LSU? Where he at now?
He actually at Washington.
I didn't know that. I was looking for my man. I didn't know where he was at. He's doing it big. Okay.
Hey, doing it big. He at Washington, man. And Coach Dewhurst, y'all say the second year,
Yeah.
I just talked to State.
He had Texas. I just talked to a coach that coached with him at Texas State the other day. A kid that he was recruiting one of my players. But I like, you knew Coach Brad. He's like, yeah, I know Coach Do. I was like, okay. Yeah, that's my guy too. P-Tone, but you wasn't there when P-Tone was there, huh? You wasn't there when
But I know P-Tone.
Okay.
P-Tone, another great coach.
Sharp one.
Yeah, sharp. He the next best thing in college, man.
Yeah. Where he at? He's still at
all you guys, yo. I mean, you remember that time you got into Weston?
You talking about my socks?
When he got into it with Weston, I was like, yo, DLane, bro, that's your boy. He love you, bro. Come on, bro. Don't get into it with man Weston like that, bro.
Yeah, he was tripping on me about the socks, man. He was tripping on my drips, eh? And what take me off is because he know, because Rob say all during the week, don't come to me about no gear. Don't come to me. I'm a coach now, so I get it. Like, you don't want to deal with that on game day. So when me and him got into it, it just sent me over the edge. And he's like, well, you can go talk to the head man about it. I was like, damn well, Coach Rob. Like, hell no. Like, what you mean? Like, I'm not about to go talk to Coach Rob about no gear before the game. Like, man, we was getting into it, man. That's my dude, though, man. Me and him had a heated discussion, but we was a family in there, man. All y'all, man. Tilly, my man, Tilly, Willow, Tilly sticking shit, knocking fools out left and right, JJ.
Yeah, what I mean? JJ, boy, that boy ain't got no brain. Boy, he going to kill somebody.
Man, I got to
love it.
The craziest story with him, we playing, I think we were like 11, 12. His mom made him late because he didn't finish his laundry. So he just showed up at halftime. First play come in, flip dude, break dude's wrist. First play. And
God.
And he was always the smallest, like always the smallest. I mean, senior year in high school, he was about 140. And it was like,
that's what I'm saying.
Killing fools.
And he just thrown off. He ain't care.
If he was 200, he had some bodies on him. If he was 200.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
my God. He'd be dead if he was 200 pounds.
Hey,
He'd be out here dead. He be having CTE, all that stuff. It would be crazy for people out here.
Yeah, Tilly could have kept playing,
Tilly,
man. He would have had bad.
DLane out there, just like a great group of guys, man. And they always looked after each other, took care of each other. Tron, and only person that I'm still like frustrated about the day that I couldn't get to was my man Torrance, bro. I love Torrance.
Torrance.
I just like Torrance was he was a special player, man. He went far. I don't know.
He could have been a nice. I could have seen T as like a nice nickelback in the league. Like he
exactly,
a nice nickelback.
Exactly,
nice.
He could have been. And it's
he was a bounce back from TCU, right?
Okay, so he had the skill,
He definitely was like super talented, But
Till, I got a couple quick hitters for you before I let you go, man. I got a couple quick hitters for you. First one is because I just thought about it when you was telling me about your career earlier. I wanted to ask you, do you think playing quarterback through high school, how did you believe it helped you at the defensive back position? And if it did, how so?
I think playing quarterback helped me because I kind of understood offense. You know what I mean? It's understood passing schemes and what receivers were looking for, like timing. I understood like how timing mattered from a quarterback and a receiver, and that's why I always wanted to play press man. I was a press corner, like.
Gotcha.
I was People always like, oh, you press corner. No. Like I played press man, like because in the scheme we played a lot of man, and I always wanted to challenge myself to press every receiver I could. I know that messes up the timing. It's like I can, as long as you, and not even necessarily getting a jam, as long as you just impede the release to where a quarterback looks there and see that the guy is covered, he automatically may come off. You know what I mean? So that's what I think as far as playing quarterback position, just knowing how important timing was. And that helped me with, playing press man and trying to be the best at and bump and run.
Coach Tilly, so I'm assuming you went through them same hell periods with Skelly and 7 on running hella cover 5, just hella man back to back.
Oh yeah.
We'll he'll call like 6-7 plays in a row, bro. We just running man. 7 on 7.
It's running man.
Tired as hell.
They running vertical routes, all that.
Yeah.
They run fades out of field, you gotta get back. And they running 2 minutes. It was crazy. Yeah. But
I'll be conditioned.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be conditioned. You definitely gonna be conditioned messing with Coach Rob. If you're not conditioned, you ain't gonna play.
Exactly.
Like about Coach Rob is the competition that he builds. Like it's always like competitive. Like he made somebody in front of you, just to light the spark on you. Right? It's like, hey, you got a spot now, but hey, every day is competition. You're competing for this job every single day. Like they say, rent is due. Every day. Mm-hmm. Got to pay rent, baby.
It's a business.
You're leasing this job. Business. It's not. You don't own this job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a production business, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'll give you a quick story real quick, Coach Till, before I give you the last 2 quick hitters. My first year coaching, when I come back home, like I said, I did 7 on 7, and then the very next year, from when I graduated, I coached at my old high school. And I think I told Zay this story, how I got basically called a racist by a parent. I'm gonna tell you why. Because my high school mainly was like a basketball high school, and it was really all white. It was an all white high school for the most part. Yeah. We had a couple brothers there. But I go back and I'm coaching the receivers and the DBs. So my starting receiver all summer and all going into the season in the first couple of weeks, he started mainly because I think he was the older guy, but the kid, he had a broken hand, so he wasn't really able to practice the whole time. But he'd still run around, be behind him. I was like, he can actually play. I was like, I think he a little better at receiver. But he couldn't play until like week 2, week 3. So when the first game back for the kid who had the broken hand, we played and we have a terrible game. I think we lose like 10-7. And I know we was a running team, but my receivers just did a shitty job blocking. Like we had a couple touchdowns that could have went long and could have sprung if we was blocking downfield. So the coach hit me. He was like, head coach hit me like, yeah, you got to talk about holler at your group. I felt some way. I take pride in my group. So I'm like, all right. So I hit the group chat. I'm like, hey, receivers, like the position wide open this week, and I'm not gonna name a starter until right before the game on game day. Yeah. So, they knew what time it was. Everybody knew what I was expecting that week. So we get to practice throughout the week. The kid that been starting the whole year, he don't pick his play up. He's still bullshit, not blocking, not finishing reps, dropping balls here and there. And so we get to the game, and I end up starting the other kid. We end up blowing the team out. I think we blown them out like 40-0, 40-7 or something. Yeah. We get to like late third quarter. We get into the second half. So I look over to put the other kid in. The kid had been starting. I'm about to put him in. I turn around. He a white boy, and his face is red, straight red. He mean mugging me, and he crying. Yeah. So I look at him. I'm like, you know what? You chill over here then. You feel me? Yeah. Like you can sit over here. Since you so wrapped up into self, and you
exactly.
Don't about your selfish team out here. Yeah, you selfish as hell. So I walk up to the head coach. I'm like, yeah, I'm not putting him in, man. He over there crying. We blowing these guys out. You feel me? So he's like, all right, coach, whatever you want. So the game in, and I remember the dad walks up to the coaches huddle. The head coach is kind of separate, but the rest of the coaches, we kind of all talking. He kind of walked up to me. He's like, hey, Coach Wayne, you don't got to talk. I just want you to know you ain't got to text my son anymore. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, whatever. And he walk off and go. And I see him walk off and go talk to the head coach. And he have a conversation with the head coach. And then he come to me, the head coach. He was like, yeah, Coach, DLane, this first time I ever heard it. But he was like, he basically just called you a racist to my face because you didn't play his son.
What?
I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And my old head high school coach, he's the AD. So we had to have a meeting with him. And he know me. So he was like, what? This is bullshit. Like, I know DLane character. He ain't not playing your son off. No racist.
It runs in the family. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, man. I'm like, so
Yeah.
he went in the dad when they come have a meeting, he want to start talking about other kids, how they play. I'm like, nah, what we can do is talk about your son. I'm like, I even want you to see practice, and you can come to practice and see what your son is doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell parents. Come to practice.
Come to practice.
Come
man.
to practice. If you think I'm doing your child a disservice, if you think that I'm showing favoritism or I'm racist or anything, whatever you think it is, just come to practice and I can show you your son's production versus the guy that I chose to start that day or play.
It's funny too in sports though, especially from black people. Like, dude said you was racist though. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Come on.
And they gonna come in the meeting. Dad gonna come in the meeting. They talking about, I play sports. I know it's his. It was supposed to be his position. I'm like, nah. If you play sports, then you should know. Like this is every day. He gotta earn this every day. They ain't set
every day.
Yeah, they basically thought his position was set in stone. That's how they thought it was.
Like so I forgot a coach that was on Twitter. It was like a coaching community, high school community, and his coach, I forgot, it was out here to DLane in California. Okay. Dude had a line. He said, "Look, Peyton Manning got cut before. I don't want to hear it."
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Come on.
Michael Jordan got cut before. You feel me?
Come on.
Michael Jordan ain't make the varsity squad. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Jerry Rice in his career getting cut. Like, come on now. Like
exactly.
Everyone, don't care who you are, you gonna have your time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So we got these last two questions that we like to ask all our guests. These last two questions. One specifically because you're a DB, so we love to ask all our defensive backs this question, our guests. So I'm gonna give you this one first. Give us your top five it is top five, but give us your all-time secondary. So we need 2 corners, a nickel, and 2 safeties. Your personal all-time favorite.
2 corners. My 2 corners is easy. Deion and Revis. First of all, you're not getting the pass. It's over.
Okay, strap Deion and outside.
Safeties, I got every. I got my every and like my man Charles Woodson. My favorite all time. And nickel, I'm going with Rod Woodson.
That's
okay.
Cool. I like that one.
A big nigga. I was like, you trying to stick shit? You eat through that big.
Oh yeah, it's basically over with. It's basically over.
We just had another DB on yesterday. He's from Oakland. He played for Cal, and I told him, I was like, he gave his list, and I was like, man, I never hear Revis like that. I wonder why. I've only heard it once. We probably asked 20 DBs, and he said it's probably because his career was like, it's kind of ups and downs, but he the best teach tape is out though. So yeah, I'm glad you said.
But that's why I'm saying, like, Revis has if you want to know how to play cornerback, I tell guys, you look at Darrelle Revis. Like, as far as technician, he's incredible. Like, sometimes I even, I flirt with even kind of like saying he's the best cornerback of all time. Even though I take it back because but it's like he is, and to me, he's incredible. Like I was just watching film of him versus like the Bengals and playing against Shad Johnson and T.O. and how he controls the line of scrimmage playing press man. And it's so hard for those receivers. Like, you don't see a corner playing bump and run and being successful, more than 50% of the time.
More than 50%. He was playing the majority of the time.
You know what I mean? And he playing elite. Like, if you go back and look at that when he was, the best, cornerback, pound for pound. If you go back and look at the guys he was strapping, it's nobody else have done that.
T.O.
Randy T.O. Calvin Johnson.
Hall of Famers is on that list.
So I put him up there. He's my, number 2 or 1B when it comes to cornerback.
So you got I think I said this on the last pod Tuesday. So you agree with me as far as, like, I think Seawood is the best DB of all time because he played most
best DB of all time, hands down.
I say Prime is the best cornerback.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Charles Woodson best DB of all time. I don't care what nobody say, because I take it back to college. He won a Heisman. I don't care Michigan, his career in Michigan just alone makes him the best DB of all time.
I mean, last defender to win the Heisman. It speaks for itself.
Exactly. Like, and then he gets to NFL, he plays corner, but you know, he's one of those guys that's just a DB. Like they moved the safety, and he probably had a better career as safety than the corner. Like he's amazing to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's one of the guys that could do everything. And like I said, like, probably put Woody at the nickel and then put, you know, Rod Woodson at safety. Depending, you can switch it up.
Yeah, versus 3 safeties, you can switch them out.
And switch them out, however you want.
And it's weird because it's like Seawood kind of had like 3 eras. He had that early era with the Raiders where he was killing, strapping that corner. Then he had that second era when he got, I think, didn't he win defensive or MVP?
Defensive
player
MVP
with the Green Bay. Yeah, playing
now.
safety, playing nickel, a little bit of everything. Then he comes back and he's still manning shit for the Raiders his last couple of years on the back.
He kept playing. He was 36.
Kept playing.
Exactly. So he's my favorite DB all time. I put, you know, Deion, you know, best corner.
You know who Baby Seawood is though, right? You know who my boy is. He Baby Seawood to me. You know who my boy is. I used to watch him all the time. Badger, you know, I'm a Badger fan. You remember that was my boy. You know that was my boy, man. Come on. Badger do his thing.
Wait, Lane, are you saying when it's all said and done, Tyron?
Badger gonna be in the top. I think he should be top 5. I think at the end of his career, he should be in top 5 defensive back. He should be a top 5
defensive backs.
He played everywhere. He played outside backer. He played corner. He played safety. He played nickel. And he got a title. A lot of your
friends got a title. He do got a title.
Let me ask you this then. Like, at what point in his career has he been the undisputed best player at his position?
Yeah.
He had like 2-3 seasons where he's been the best safety. Undisputed. But it's hard to say undisputed for any position. It's year to year, I feel like, for football.
Deion was undisputed. Darrelle, the only person we debated Darrelle was Namdi for a couple years.
Exactly. And then Sherm, like everybody, it's not just always clear cut.
Hold on, all right.
Sherm was later on in Revis' career.
Yeah.
But they used to have that argument between them two.
But it was like Revis was like 30, 31.
Yeah.
I'm saying though, I'm saying it's not like basketball where it's clear cut and dry. Football, it's like it's year in, year out. You gotta have your resume and like it's gonna be somebody on your heels.
I'm with Dwight on this. When we talk the best of the best, though, it's consistent. Like when I say like names, Randy Moss, Larry, like, you know, those careers.
Like I said, defensive back. I'm talking about a guy that played multiple positions in secondary. I think when it's all said and done, he's gonna get another ring or two with Pat. I think he'll be a top 5 defensive back. Somewhere in there. 4-5. You can put.
You say top 5. So okay. I mean, so let's just judge him as a safety because he don't play outside corner, right? So we just judge him as a safety nickel, right? I know we're going over, but so that means he's gonna be mentioned in the same breath as the Ed Reeds, the Charles Woodson, the Rod Woodsons, right? And we can even go even in depth, right?
Only one of them play nickelback out of what you said. Rod and Ed both play true safety. They ain't come up and play nickelback safety.
Okay.
Actually, I'm talking about safety.
So like, we saying just true safety. I'm thinking you're talking about
safety, like far as like.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
He in a safety category.
And I'll say because nickel, we gotta be.
I don't know if he better than
I don't look at when I look at Tyrann, I don't look at him as a safety. I look at him as a nickelback DB. That's kind of how I see him.
All right, let's say this though, Lane. Dwight, correct me if I'm wrong. You coach it. I feel like nickel in 20 years will be more of a talked about position. It's like now in the last 5 years, it's been you have to have a nickel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's we're gonna get bigger though. Yeah, that position. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he could be the pioneer. He definitely could be a pioneer.
I agree with that, Lane. I think he'll be the pioneer for the nickel position.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take that.
Because I feel like PMs and scouts, they're like, how do you want your nickel? Tyrann Mathieu.
Matthews. Exactly.
Gotcha. All right, Coach Till, we got one more that we like to ask all our guests. And before you answer, you gotta think about it because we're gonna need your help with it. Who should we have next on the pod? And if you know the person, can you give us the lie?
Oh, say it again.
So who should we have on the pod next? And if you know the person, you gotta give us the lie.
Oh, all right. Let me see. As far as like you talking like DBs,
it could be anything. We started out just football over the this our second, third years doing this now. We didn't have like social media guys, journalists, sports writers, DJs, music. We done had it all now, so we like everything at this point.
Just showing how diverse the
we just had a real estate guy on the other night, you know, kicking game about real estate.
Well,
so
if
we do it all.
the main, I would think a guy that you can bring on, my guy Brett. You know, he business owner. He talk. You know, he got a gym out there, Modesto. You know, he's working right now. He's down there with Ryan Clark from the Steelers, safety Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's doing like a camp with Ryan Clark for the week.
Yeah, we love to have him.
I definitely would say him. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, I think I know him. Yeah, just have him. We can send each other the number or something. 'Cause I think I met him once or twice when I was at James Logan for a quick spring ball season.
Yeah, definitely. Highly intelligent guy. You know what I mean? Great player. You know, like I said, we play on the same team. You know, excellent businessman. You know, I think he has a lot to say. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right.
That sound good. Sound good. Hey, man, Coach Till, I appreciate you for coming on, man, kicking some game with us, telling us a little bit about your story, man. I wish you many more success, man. We got to stay tapped in, for sure.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you out there, man. Appreciate you, my man, DLane.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We got that SF Bridge back there. I see you, man. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the love.
You already know. You already know how to put the background on there.
Yeah. Okay.
We play for keeps, Cuddy. You ain't heard about the Huddle fire with DLane. We tryna get it off the muscle. Walters caught the pick and ran it back without a tussle. Blow the whistle, coach is time to get back to the huddle.